So, so welcome to the stream, everyone. I don't know if there is anyone there yet, but welcome if you're watching the recording. So our goal today is to fix this issue number 4171 in Storybook open source repository. Uh, and we did a little bit of planning, me and Norbert, a little before. So we have a clear roadmap on how to solve the issue, and that would be the following. We'll try to remove the node env references from Storybook and see what happens. And if that's not possible, we'll forward the node env variable to universal.env, which actually solves this issue. But we also want to improve on it by fixing the predictability of the environment variables in the .env files. We'll talk about that later, but let's start. So where do you want to start, Norbert? Try to remove
let's show everyone around the code where everything happens.
Okay. So
and we can show around the official example where we're actually using the .env file.
Yeah. So let me go to this is the official example folder, and we have.
Can you share the screen with me?
Oh yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot. Share. Yep. Can you see it?
Yep.
So yeah, this is the official Storybook example, which we use to test and also kind of give a guideline for Storybook users. And we have the .env file here, which has two variables. And I had just added a .env.development file, which has one variable. And yeah, so the command to start the storybook in this file is this one, storybook foobar1, foobar2. We add two extra variables and then we call start storybook, which kind of ends up coming here. Like, this is the webpack config that's going to be used for that command. It's on the webpack.config.dev in the libcore server. So it comes here and it looks at this line. It loads env, which is in the utils in the same folder, which adds the node environment to the process.env, and it filters the storybook underscore variables from the CLI, so you don't give out secrets and stuff, and then it returns it in a process.env modified. After that's done, we run this line, which is basically calling the universal.env. What it does is it loads the .env files, which we have in the example official storybook, and it modifies the process.env. I'll show you the related code and the variable so if you look here, it actually takes the this webpack, which is basically modified process.env. So it does the same as loadenv, but it just loads the .env files, while loadenv loads it directly from the system. So that's the situation right now. What do you want to do next?
So I think the first thing that we want to do is kind of simplify the process by moving towards a single instance of the define plugin. And my recommendation would be that we remove that one and kind of move that functionality in the one that we have more code around anyhow. And we need to make sure that we import that get environment, obviously.
We can't do it here. We can't add it here because the plugin loads the process.environment I think we should probably start by doing it here, Norbert, rather than what we were talking about before.
Sure, let's go forth with this.
Yeah. So
And I'm guessing that instead of like pulling off Webpack from get environment, we have to maybe fetch the raw. I feel like that would be a raw object. I'm not sure we're looking just at the code, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that raw is an object, so we can stringify it ourselves.
we should probably take the stringified object, right, instead of raw,
Okay.
because it's already stringified here.
Okay. Yeah, sure, but we're going to be iterating over an object anyway
Yeah.
in our own code, so that's kind of why I was.
Okay. So stringify. And we want to do it here, object.assign. Sound good?
Okay, so on line 29, we're taking the process.end, and so all of that is being filtered and then stringified. Okay, so in that case, we indeed should take the stringified from get environment. Sorry, I was still thinking about that part. But yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there any ordering here that we need to be careful of? Like, do we merge in env or stringify in first?
I don't think it matters here.
Okay.
I think this should be okay. The order doesn't matter here. Yeah. But I think we should probably write the test first.
Sure. Let's go into the .env file for the official example then. So
this is kind of working.
Make sure, but we're kind of already sure that like because display underscore warning is there, we should make sure that stays there.
Okay.
So that we one test.
Yeah, sure. Let me start up the official storybook example.
Should be sure to run yarn dev on our code base.
Yeah, it's running.
Okay.
So yarn dev is like a tool that watches the storybook core code and compiles it when we change it. For people who don't know.
Yeah, obviously Storybook does that for the user's code, but we have our own command for our monorepo to do it across our entire monorepo.
So we don't see any warning here.
Yeah, but if you go ahead and inspect the HTML, you should see like a hidden warning inside of there.
Yep. HTML and body. You should see this thing, which if this was block, that would be the warning. If the env files are not loaded, this would be the warning that would be coming up in official Storybook example.
Yeah, show them the file that actually creates that CSS part, so everyone understands where the display warning environment variable is going.
So the display warning environment variable is going here, which since this is none, it actually sets the display to none, and that's why this whole HTML element doesn't actually display any warning. If it wasn't none, that would be by default block. So this would be the warning if the env files are not loaded. Yep. So we changed that part of the code. Let's delete it from here, and we deleted it from defined, right? So it works. Moving it there works. We should probably do the same thing for this is the production, right? Yeah, this is the production. We should do the same for production. Yeah. So moving it there works, but we still haven't solved the main issue that it's not taking the node environment variable correctly. The library doesn't take the node environment variable. This thing should be forwarded to this thing somehow.
Right.
We could hack it by saying equal to env dot node env. But
Yeah, but what we've also discussed is was can we actually just remove the node env entirely?
mhm.
Because why are we setting it? And
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's always been this way, and no one really knows why that line is there and what it's supposed to be doing and what it's for.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let me comment this out for now, so that we don't have any issues. So I'll show you guys I'll show you where it's exactly being used. So git grep node in the app, in the app folder, it's being used in all the build.js binaries. It's just setting it to production most of the time. Yeah, and then in lib, it's only being used in these five places, of which four of them are the files we are already working on. And this doesn't actually matter much because uh, yeah, so the issue is, Norbert, like I think it's something like if the user forgets to set a node environment variable, then we want the build storybook to set it when you're actually running the build storybook command. What do you think?
Come again. So when the user has not set node env to be production and they're trying to make a static version of Storybook, a building it,
Uh-huh.
then we should not set it.
Then we should set it.
Okay,
And that's, I think, the reason behind all of them having node env equal to production.
right. Okay.
And if you actually look at this, and for development, this won't exist anyway, and it would default to development.
Right. So how bad is that option on line 27? How bad is it?
I would say it's pretty bad because we are setting it. We shouldn't be doing that.
Hmm.
Get environment should probably take a node environment. This function should probably take a this thing like this.
Right, but that's someone else's code, so it's harder to do. But I guess we can take a look at that code and kind of see how hard it would be and we could open up a pull request or something.
Yeah, sure. Uh, Let me just open it. Yeah. Unfortunately, we'll be looking at the compiled part of the code rather than the actual source if we want to change
It's
it
a
here.
universal.env, right? We can probably look it up on GitHub and get
Yeah,
the real
sure.
source.
Universal.in, it's here. So the get environment is here, but
Mm-hmm.
this node env is actually being loaded already. Instead of, like, we should add an argument here and let it take that, like put I
Hmm.
sorry, yeah.
So they also default into this development, but then also don't set it.
Yes. Oh, so do you think the env.development is already being loaded properly? So I added this env.development file, right? Do you think this is being going to be loaded?
It might be, yeah.
Let's check.
Let's try that and go into preview head and
.env development
I
file.
don't really need to do it that way. Like if you go to line 12, or in this case, line 14, and just paste it in there, it should appear as text in the preview.
I mean, we probably want it to be a proper test anyway, right? So isn't it better to do it like this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's something we added, and oh,
Now you need to go into config.js for the example.
okay. So it's in here. Yeah.
and add it.
File not loaded. Development.
Typo.
Yeah. Uh, it automatically compiles it, or it's config, right? So probably do I need to restart?
Yeah, you need to restart it.
Yeah.
Not because of the config.js that actually hub module reloads, but
But the env, yeah,
the
yeah.
preview HTML doesn't.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the environment variable probably. Oh, that should already be.
Yeah, I had already added it before I started. It's not being loaded.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So let me remove this part because we are pretty satisfied with this and this. So yeah, if I look at the GitHub, it's taking this,
Mm-hmm.
but you remember this is being loaded before. The .env files are being loaded here,
Yep.
and here
Yeah,
the
at that
node.env
point,
doesn't exist.
right. So it's kind of weird that they at line 67 they would set it to development, because afterwards, like, that doesn't do anything anymore for this particular
Yeah, yeah,
code, because it's not going to be loading any additional files. So that's exactly the scenario that we're seeing.
yeah.
Right. So we actually need to set node env before, otherwise it's just not going to load that file.
Yeah, and I think that's a bad idea. Like setting the manipulating the process.env.node.env in the actual storybook source code. So we should like move this whole thing into a separate function. This loading part.
You want to fork this piece of code and then modify it and make a pull request?
Uh, yes, but like, do we want to write our own custom thing, or do we want to do this?
I don't know. What's the opinion of this library author? Like, I think you've had some dealings with them before.
Yeah, so I asked him
feel
about.
like they would be open up for this type of pull request, where we're basically doing lazy evaluation over the environment variables?
So what he said in this comment was like he didn't want it like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you should probably read it. I think being mostly so. Yeah, so basically he says he doesn't want the lazy evaluation because he doesn't want the variables to be changed. He doesn't think the variables should be changed, and that's true. But
Yeah, but we're not changing the variables.
yeah,
In fact, that's what we're really hard trying to achieve, to not change the variables.
yes,
Just so this file will load the right file.
yeah.
All right. You know what? We could just fork this, name it something like lazy universal.env, and publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And then still make a PR and get the discussion going. And if it's accepted, we can deprecate our own custom library.
Yeah, yeah. So let me actually, I forked it. So let me clone it and start it. Git clone git storybooks universal.env.
You're not cloning it inside of the examples folder, are you?
No, I'm cloning it
Okay,
outside.
okay. I'm not aware of this dot 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 thing
Oh,
you're talking
that's
about.
a shortcut I have, which actually moves the folders up by four parents.
I see.
It's I'm using Fish. Okay, so let me open it. Index.js. So we should probably rename it, right? If we want to test it today.
Yeah,
Lazy universal, lazy universal. Yeah, yeah, looks good.
whatever.
Oh, yeah, I have to install stuff first. npmi. So while it's installing,
Yeah.
we actually have one chat message on the stream. I think Yarn is faster, or is it like different? Uh-huh. Bundling. Okay, so we should move the whole thing, right? I don't know why this is being there. Do you think we should remove that?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a concern for this particular library to be specific about node-env, to be honest,
Yeah. It
or build target
uh
or abroot. Like, shouldn't this library be about loading the .env and whatever is in the .env, like that's what it returns, but it should not care about particular env variables. Why should it?
yeah, and it also has this app root app source stuff.
Yeah.
So we should probably remove them also, right?
Yeah, that would, like, I don't know if the author would be interested in a PR like that, but honestly, let's go with the flow and just do what feels right to us right now, and then we can add things later or discuss things later with the original author.
hmm so I removed this part, this part.
Yep.
They have this app specific env, uh, which they shouldn't be caring about again, right?
No,
If
no,
the
it should
user wants
actually just
them,
be loading the right files and stringifying it, so in preparation for exchanging this data with Webpack.
yeah. Uh, okay. So I'm like, I get the reason why he had this app specific env, because as
Mm-hmm.
I said, React app had this, and we app also had something like this. So you just probably do it like this. But yeah, it doesn't make sense here.
Well, if it were configurable, I would understand, but it
It
doesn't look it.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just like a constant.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's removed, and this function looks good to me. Do we need to add anything in this function?
I don't. I Personally thinking, we should move pretty much all of the code above into this function, shouldn't we?
Oh, get environment. Yeah, probably.
And so as soon as you do get environment, that's when we actually read the environment, not before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now user is in control of when they actually want to read the environment versus at module initiation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Uh, so we
Right.
should probably remove. It makes sense to have it in just one environment. So what we'll do is we'll change this. Let's have it here. We moved that part. Okay, but we still need to load the files. This part we still need to move this part.
I think all of that stuff needs to go into the get environment. Like if you have .env files above it, then where is node.env coming from?
Yeah, this thing definitely should be moved. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like thinking about uh, what is this happening? Complexity. Ah,
We can extract, like, do like revert the changes you made, and then just wrap the stuff in a function above.
yeah. What's the net?
Or get
Yeah, yeah.
read environment probably or something.
Oh, this. I mean, you know what? I'll just turn off the complexity in ESLint.
YOLO.
See?
So all right.
No, it's not solved. What? Yeah, it's solved now. Okay, so where is this build target and node env coming from? They're coming from here, which shouldn't be correct, right?
What is build target? What is it?
It's like a different environment. It's not only people can use node env, but they can also use build target like debug.development or release.development,
Okay.
debug.production, release.production.
Okay, it's like node.env, but with different name, I guess.
It's like
Okay,
no,
fine.
it's like
So that
environments
is like
inside
a standard.
environments.
Many people are doing build target.
I think so because like he has this thing like I guess
Right.
some spec on .env.
Sure.
Loading. Ah, where's the build target? I don't see any target. Yeah, I don't. It's only the environments and then the local overrides.
All right. Well, let's keep it so we have at least that backwards compatibility there. I
Uh-huh.
don't see a big reason to remove that.
Uh-huh.
Do you?
No, I don't see a big reason.
Okay. So the .env files array would look like that, and they would filter on Boolean. All right.
Mm-hmm. So
That's fine.
what we should do is move this and make it configurable. So node env
Yeah, that's a good idea.
build target. So it's like node env or
Can we take a single argument, which is an object that we destructure?
sure,
Yeah, let's do that.
that's it, right? Uh, yeah, I don't see any other issue.
The other things are just imports. What is the base? Go all the way up. There's like a
Yeah, there's a
.env base
yeah.
that gets abroot.get. What does abroot get?
It's
Does?
it's like where you started the
It's your current working directory.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that doesn't have any dependencies on like environment variables and stuff.
No, it shouldn't. npm.js package. It also like kind of like checks for the package.json in the current process.cwd, which is kind of
Sure.
safe. So I think we should be safe using that as it is, that part of the code.
Perfect. All right. Let's publish. Do you have publish rights for the at Storybook
Uh,
org?
App Storybook?
Oh, you're just gonna publish it under like lazy dash the global
Yeah,
registry,
yeah,
right? Right.
yeah.
Right.
Let me run
Yeah,
the
right.
tests though. Assuming,
Yeah. This is gonna break.
yeah.
It should break, right? It should.
No. Oh, it
We
did
changed the
break.
code.
Oh, because we removed the app root app source.
Yeah, so those tests we don't actually need anymore, probably.
Um, well,
Let's
just to
go
be,
read the tests.
there's too many tests. So maybe, oh, what does it say? Cannot restrict property.
Oh, so we need a default object there.
Oh, like this?
Yeah. And that way they're both undefined.
Yeah. Okay, passing. 1, 2.
11.
Uh, it still talks about this is exports build client.
I think there's quite a few tests that we can remove because we basically removed quite a few features from this library.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
remove this part. Uh, it should like client. Harangue. So this is the build target. Shouldn't it be saying like export webpack? Okay, sorry. So this is the original test, right?
come again?
This is the original file, test file.
Okay, so he's using to match snapshot.
Yes, but the
Okay,
snapshot doesn't have this.
that makes sense.
I'm like, it it shouldn't make sense because we need to load that, right? We need to load that. This line should load that file.
Hmm.
This is no environment. This makes sense. We could like change, and since we kind of don't have that anyway, we could do this. That should pass. So how can I run a single file? It's just
Dash dash watch.
like this.
Now you can like press P for pattern.
Uh-huh.
Type the pattern of the file.
What? What? So, so it got an empty object,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's looking for snapshot ops, which is empty here. So I don't understand why it's looking for this.
That's what it used to get back.
Oh, just actually saves the snapshots, right?
Yeah.
Uh, how do I rerun them?
Enter. Press the enter key.
No, didn't work.
What were you expecting?
No, this is the like snapshot that should be matched, right, in the test,
Yeah.
or am I
Yeah.
understanding it wrong?
Right. We're getting an empty object where we should be getting a filled object that has app-root, app-source, app-test override, app-test path, and node-end. I'd be expecting that node-end would now be gone, maybe, but
And also uproot and app.
all the other ones should stay.
No, all the other ones should also go because this is okay. Only these three are being loaded.
It seems to be like none of them are loaded now because we're getting an empty object.
Yeah. You want to add the uproot app source node in we build target back so that we don't complicate our lives.
Can we go back to the code and see
Poo-poo.
why this may not be happening? So that requires all the .env files. So now everything is on the path. Scroll down a little bit. Keys raw. Where is raw coming from now?
Raw is like empty. It's being initiated by empty.
The object, okay. When is raw being filled? Not quite seeing it.
Oh, I probably deleted that part.
Yeah, that's why we're getting empty objects. Like we're not filling raw anymore.
Yeah, just let me get that part. Yeah. Oh, so instead of deleting just this filter, I was deleting all this stuff.
Yep, that will do it.
This is we want to do it after reload, right? Yeah, here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's run the test again.
It's running.
Okay, so now we're getting a shit ton more.
Because it's loading the oh shit. Oh
because
shit.
we're no longer filtering.
Oh yeah, it loaded my stuff.
And this will be really hard to snapshot. So instead, we could write some specific expectations for like, I'm expecting this environment variable to be there, and I'm expecting this one to be here, versus snapshotting the entire result. Because ultimately, I think this is what the library should do. Like, it should not filter, right?
I don't think it should actually load it into the process.env at all. It should load it into an object, this part.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, it makes makes total sense. Like, we're completely changing the scope of what this library is doing. It is essentially turning it into a loader for environment variables versus an actual requirement. Like, we would be knowing what the environment variables are without them actually being inside the process. And I'm okay with that. I'm down with that.
But I'm not sure
really
if
what we need.
But I'm not sure if these guys actually support that, these libraries.
But ultimately, we've got a list of files, and the .env file format is freaking easy because it's just like space separated and line separated, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So we could just split all the lines and then split, I think, on the equal sign, and
Uh,
boom, we've got a hash table.
Amal, do you want to duplicate the effort? So what this guy does is, yeah, it actually loads it directly to process.env.
Yeah.
Wait, there's something.
Maybe there's a parse. Oh, whoop, there it is. There's a parse.
Oh, nice.
The engine which parses the content of the file containing the environment variables available to use. It accepts a string or a buffer. Sure, so we can read the file, pass it into parse, and we will get back
Yeah.
.env .parse. There you go. And we could even load in the buffer. But I'm guessing a string will be easier for us.
So, what does this .env expand do though? Expand, it's the same guy. Variable expansion for .env. What? What? What does it expand? Examples.
If you find yourself needing to, sorry, I couldn't read.
Oh yeah, it's serious. If you look at the test.env file, it actually uses the bash
It uses
syntax.
environment variables inside of environment variables.
Yeah, yeah.
That will ruin someone's day if that. All right. And so now you need to load it into the process environment variables, because if environment variables that you're loading require environment variables that you're loading, do we even want to support that in this? Is this normal? Do people do this? I guess so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, it seems a valid situation to support.
Okay. In that case, we need to load them into the environment variables. Sorry. We cannot do the really pure thing of just reading files and returning their inputs. We actually,
No, that's the thing, right? Maybe this library manipulates it easily, and we don't need to load it into the process.env. Uh, okay. Oh, there's a config.parsed. So, this thing returns a config whose parsed has the value.
I didn't quite follow.
Sorry, what?
I didn't quite follow.
Sorry, let me just like. So if you're looking at my screen, we are thinking like this .nv.config, it returns the object and it also adds it to process.env, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what .env expand does is it takes the config and just uses that if it's not found in process.env.
I see.
So what we can do is we can do this. We can still do the parse,
Yeah.
but just like put this config in a wrapper and give it to the above. Give it to .env expand.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm just trying to see if config is being used anywhere else other than config.parse. It's not. So I think that's a better way of doing it. Okay, const config equal to fs dot read file sync dot env file
UTF-8. Now we've got a string of the file contents.
const parsed equal to, yeah, This is like content is better name for that. Require. Why is it here and stuff like out? Why isn't it like this? Yeah? Or
I don't know.
am I missing something? Like I'm missing some obvious thing. Why isn't this in the import? Yeah, I don't see anything. So we'll do that dot env. Oh, yeah, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. Sorry. So dot env dot it's
Parse?
parse and the content, right?
Sure.
And this is the parsed, and we just give it to this guy by doing this. Yeah. And what does this guy return? He returns the actual config. Ah, oh, yeah. So we need to assign it to raw. Oh, sorry. Raw equal to, this is a let, and raw equal to object dot assign. Yeah.
Mm,
Because this thing actually returns an object, or does it actually put it into process.env? It does put it into the process.env.
yay. Yeah, I think it is. It might be inevitable because I can imagine like this expand kind of. It only take doesn't it take the process env as well in the expand?
It does. It does. But that's okay because people might have some process.envs they want to forward to the .env files. But it
Sure.
shouldn't be overwriting it. It shouldn't be like adding it back.
Well, it does.
So we should probably write this whole logic ourselves, as you said at the beginning.
Hmm. We're trying to evade writing things into process.env,
Yeah, yeah.
but these libraries are all doing it.
And what was the reason we actually didn't want to do it? I forgot the original reason we started this for.
So we were if you go back to our utils inside of Storybook itself. Like here, we were trying to remove the need for node-env here, or sync it back into the process env before.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're in this like rabbit hole is because we didn't really want to put the node-env that we have as a default on the process.env. But in order to not put it there, we would need to make changes in these libraries.
So the issue is like this is using process.env to actually put it into raw, and we want to avoid that because we removed this part which is not configurable at all, and it's taking all the environment variables from process.env. So that's why we are trying to not put it stuff into process.env and make this like just have raw here and delete this part.
Yeah, so we would essentially have to write .env expand as well in order to achieve what we wanted to achieve.
I don't think I don't think we would need it because sure we'll let it write process.env, but we are not going to use it, right? This part of the code is not using it. We'll be removing
I
this.
didn't quite understand. We're using .env expand right there.
No, I meant like oh sorry. So this is the line we are having issue with, right? This is taking all the environment variables from the terminal or from the system CLI.
Mm-hmm.
So we remove this part, and this thing would give out a config,
Mm-hmm.
and if we do parts, we put it back into raw. We let it write to process.env. We don't care because we're not
Okay.
using it here.
This will work, you say?
Yeah, I think this would work.
So let's give it a try.
Sorry, just move this to expand from .env expand. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. One thing we do need to know is then we don't need to read the file sync and all that stuff. We can do the config, yeah, and path equal to dot env file,
Oh, interesting. .env has a method for that. Yeah, it seems obvious.
and this is a config. We just parse it to here. Yeah, it should work.
Let's test it.
What are we testing again? We are testing the
The literal test.
so it's pattern, right? No env. So we got the app test override and the test ignore
Yeah.
and the app test path, which is really good. But the snapshot still has this. Let me see if they have. Yeah, see, they have snapshots here. So we should delete
Mm-hmm.
these snapshots.
No, because aren't they correct?
No, we removed the node env and app app source, right? We removed these.
Oh, remote mode does. Okay, but why are we seeing app test override original?
Because
Versus
that's in the
overridden.
.env here.
It says original here,
Yeah,
but
and
in our CLI it says it's getting
it has original.
overridden. No, that's removed. Like the
Oh,
green
it's
part is
overridden.
going to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
gone.
yeah. I see that. I see the overridden.
So where is overridden coming from?
It's coming from here in the test. So his test setup was like kind of like, so if you run npm test, it actually sets node env equal to test, right?
Right. All right. So that's funny. That's actually funny. So our code is now correct, but the snapshot is incorrect.
Yeah.
Um,
Where is the test? Here's the test. We should probably change the snapshot, right?
Yeah, we should. But on line 8, we now have the option of setting, passing in an object, right? With the node end that we
Yep.
want to test on. So let's do that. So for that part,
Null or
yeah,
undefined?
doesn't matter. We're using or.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that should ideally.
Change it from override to original.
No, it still has overridden.
Interesting.
Ah, maybe the .env and .env expand. No, wait. That doesn't make sense. I'll come back to that test. I'll come back to this test. Let's actually log the .env files.
Yep.
So it still takes env test, and env test local.
Sorry, you were too quick for me. I couldn't read.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it's still doing the test in the test local.
And
Indeed.
I understand because it has this OR, so it would still take the node env.
But we're setting node end like that.
But it has
Const.
OR, so it's null or this thing, and then this thing would go, right? This thing would be taken.
I don't understand. Uh, so let's do if node env, if type of node env is undefined, we set it to process.env.nodeenv, and otherwise it's nodeenv. So null would be an explicit value that you can send it. You can use a ternary. I think that would be better here, so it would not have block scope for const. Undefined would be in a string, yeah.
Right. Oh, sorry. Just trying to follow the style of the original code.
I think you're better off using a ternary here because const is block scope in the if.
Oh, okay. Yep. If type of node equal undefined, then
Now you have to flip. Now you have to flip them. Yeah.
And similarly, yeah.
Let's run the test again.
Yeah, looks good. So if people want to, yeah, it works. The original and 1, 2, 3 are gone.
Cool. And we've added the test ignore. Why is that?
Because it's coming from env.local. No, it's not there. So where is test ignore? Oh yeah, I remember. Because the guy had this thing as a filter.
I get it. Yeah. So we're no longer filtering that, and so it's showing up. That makes absolute sense. All right, we're gonna go ahead and accept that snapshot.
How do I do that?
Press W, and then U.
U.
Yeah. Boom. All right.
Nice.
Now we can change focus to other files. So we can press A for running all tests again.
Can't I just do pattern?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can change the pattern using P if you know which file you're looking for.
Let's see which has the more tests. This has 5 snapshots. Build has lesser tests. Yeah, this looks good. Let's go to build test. Yeah, it has less tests. So build, and it's failing Yeah, looks good. So
I'll
let's.
be back in like 2 minutes, Pavan.
Yeah, sure, sure. I'll change stuff in the meanwhile. So let's build target one. String, yeah, so we can remove this. We should be removing app root app source because we removed that, and we should be removing these also because we removed them before. Test is client, test overridden, test path, test is client. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, and now oh, where's the build test? Where is the build test?
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, so I fixed the build test. I'm
Hey.
going to now do the index test. Build test snap is gone. Index test snap is coming. So we'll be removing these anyway. This.
You don't have to change the snapshots by hand, man.
Oh,
You can just go into your terminal and press U for accepting the updates.
but I was thinking make it easier to see the differences.
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe it's taking a little bit getting used to just.
Yeah. Okay. So we can remove these two tests and also these two because we removed that stuff, and also this one.
Okay, cleans up nicely.
So supports manually defined envs. Sounds really good. Ignores non-app specific settings.
Nope, that we removed that feature.
Okay, so we should probably remove this setting.
Remove the test. Yeah.
Uh, let's run it actually. So support manually defined in envs. This looks good. The received is correct, right?
Okay, so receive
Because
support manually defined envs too.
and this is a stringify.
So you remove the app data, app root, and app source just manually. So
No,
that's to
no,
be expected that they're gone.
no. I removed the app root and the app source.
Okay.
Uh, but app data is actually set in the process.env like this, and
Okay, but it's being removed, so it's
that's
going to be missing it.
that's not being removed. We are just not returning it from our library. We are not returning the process.env, right? We are just returning the red stuff.
You lost me there.
So if I do uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's all the way at the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have some tokens there. I had reset these tokens though, so it should not be an issue if someone's watching. Okay.
But I'm guessing that the library was designed in mind to do return those values then.
Yeah, but if we are like modifying it for ourselves, we shouldn't care about that, right? Because we are doing the load env in utils.
Yeah,
So we are actually doing it here. We are only filtering the storybook underscore stuff here, which is what
exactly.
we want to continue with.
So yeah, we really focused the.
.env files.
I was going to say we really focus what this library is about. Like it doesn't care about process env anymore at all,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and therefore this test doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah.
So delete the test.
Uh, no, it's actually
Or
good to have
do
it
you want
tested
to
here.
make sure that it does not add?
Yeah, yeah, that's better. We wanted to have it
Yeah.
here. We could delete the last line,
So
which is
we changed the test to say like app data should not exist.
yes. Uh, uh, so this thing, yeah, this thing works, and it's the same thing here, but just the raw instead of the stringified. So this test is actually testing for the ignore stuff. We should probably remove that test.
Yeah.
But oh, I don't think this should be done
Right.
because it has it here. I don't know why this is there. Uh-huh.
So we should not be ignoring non-app specific settings because we're not going to be ignoring
Yeah.
anything in the .env.
Yeah, yeah. So we could comment it out, but I also want to add one more test. I want to add the expand works correctly.
Yeah, that's a really good idea to test out. Like, even though it's someone else's code, we could be misconfiguring it.
Yeah. So let's remove that test. Let me update the fixture snapshots. So you, and that's done. Uh, what files are they taking? They are taking enemy.test also. Okay, sure, sure, they can take it. Let me remove this part. So this will take the. No, I want to run all of them again. So it does take the client. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's add the test. So we want to add supports expand of variable from env paths and one more test supports expand of variable from actual environment.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So we could just copy this, but remove it here. Delete process.env. It's better if we delete it at the end of the test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually need to have the test for the expansion. Need to have this. And let's see actually what test files they're taking. They're testing env test, and env test.local. Let's actually add a different environment because it's better like that. Node env equal to
No,
sorry.
no. Or,
No, I meant like add a new env dot expansion to actually
okay,
test the expansion only.
sure.
Expansion 1, expansion 2, uh, env dot expansion 1 and env dot expansion 2. Oh, damn. I created folders.
Hmm.
That's funny. Uh, env dot expansion 2. And I want this to use apt as path. Um, so expand path equal to user bin and then apt as path. And I want this to use data equal to app data comma wait, red comma app data. Yeah, because they're colors. Um, Now let's see. This actually sounds correct, original,
Hmm.
because we changed the. No, we didn't. What's happening? Okay, it sounds correct original here. It sounds correct original here because we changed the node env here and
Okay.
here. But I don't get why it's changed here.
So which test is that? Supports manually defined row.
This test. Do you think there's a log env here? The node env is getting into it. So someone's setting it.
We know that it's being set.
No, it's not being set. We're not setting it.
Doesn't the expand set it? .env expand.
Oh, sorry. It takes the test. It takes the test. It takes the test. Um,
Can you focus on one file that has a problem? So it's easier to read.
yeah, sorry. So
P for pattern.
P for pattern, index. So it's this file. It's the last test. You reading it or should I like show you the code?
Supports manually defined end2. Do you have a test like literally named like that?
Yeah, this one.
No, but there's a 2 behind it.
Oh, that's because it's like this is one snapshot and this is two snapshot.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Now I'll remember. Okay, so what was failing again?
So for this test, oh, wait, Doesn't support. Let's rename it. Uh-huh. So let's actually say what the snapshot should be here. So
Hmm.
this thing, it has node env is test, right? And it should load the env, these three,
Hmm.
and then it should load this test override.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
if I go to the snapshot,
So it'd be test ignore 1, 2, 3.
so what? Okay, so yeah. So this thing, yeah, this thing should be overridden
Right.
because it should load .env.test.
That's weird. The other ones make sense that they're the original, but since the node env is going to be test,
And then the node env test has this overridden. And if you look at the expand path, it didn't actually add the app test path, which is this.
right?
It's supposed to add that, but it didn't add it. The red yellow, they got added though,
Interesting. So in one section it does do it, in the other section it doesn't. I'm
because
guessing.
so this is passing because it's actually loading from the environment.
Yeah.
This is not passing, and this is not passing. Sorry.
Hmm.
Maybe it's because like they are in the same test files. Maybe there's some contamination happening.
Well, we are messing with the process env, so
Yeah. Uh, oh, I need to build all of them. Sorry. Uh, what is it failing at? Get environment is not defined. Ah, okay. Let's see the snapshot. No, it has original.
hmm.
I could try commenting this out and see. See, it has overridden. So
Right.
adding these two tests kind of messes it up. Where's the snap?
And now it's original again.
Yep.
Okay, so they should all be in their own
Yeah.
test file, then I guess.
Yeah.
Does that even like are all of these tests in their own process?
I'm not sure.
Yes. I don't think that's guaranteed-ish.
I'm not sure how just works. I haven't worked with just much.
Yeah, so let's just give it a try. See if we copy that code like 5 to 10 and 12 to 19 into different files, whether
Oh,
that solves our problem.
yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Add expand .test.js. Uh-huh. Let me remove this. We want this. Okay. Oh, this snap got created. The DLS sounds good. This snap looks good. This snap needs the expand path expanded. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Let me update it. This has overridden, so we are good with that. I'll close that file. I'll close this file.
Perfect.
Let me open the snap of expand. Let me see if this is contaminating the abort test. No, it's not. So yeah, we added the expansion test, but one of them is failing right now.
Which one? Show me.
Uh, this one.
So let's see the expansion, the .n for expansion 1. Let's see. Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Which environment variable is it looking for? It's looking for app test path,
Mm-hmm.
and we're sure that that actually exists.
It has here,
Okay.
and it also exists in the snapshot.
So when we're looking at, okay, so the one that's working has got process.n variables.
Yes, it does.
The one that is not working is where we basically got this raw object, but it's not really written to process.env yet.
I think it is written the process.env, right? We made sure it was
Sure.
it was being written. So it does have the app test path in the process.env.
Okay, that's even stranger now. Why
Oh wait, that's
would there be any
expansion 2.
difference?
That's expansion 2.
You can focus test, by the way, in Jest using test dot only.
Oh, okay. Only.
Yeah.
Yeah, expansion 1, and it has the app test path. But expand path is above it? What? No, wait, that doesn't matter. So what's the order of the files? Oh, do you think it loads the expansion 1 first and then it loads the .env?
Yep, that's exactly what it does.
Huh.
And what's in .env that conflicts?
No. It's like it has this thing in .env first and then it goes to .expansion. I had
That
written
meant,
it
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So in that case, it's undefined until that point, right?
Yeah.
And then it cannot find it, and then it cannot search and replace it. All right, that makes sense.
So we should probably add one more expansion.
But look, if we take a step back, like, does that order even make sense? Like, wouldn't you be expecting that order to be exactly in the reverse?
No,
Like,
this is
reloading the .env first, and then the env test, and then env test logo. No,
this is correct.
Okay, all right.
You know what? We can look at the other .env implementations. Isn't it this guy? No, it's not this guy. Which was the yeah, GitHub .com b. Oh, I need to find the codes. I need to find the link. Yeah, it's this guy. So it loads the following files starting from the bottom.
Okay.
So it loads the env development local and then
Okay. Well, looks like the algorithm is correct then.
and I understand why it's doing it like that because you can have one MongoDB URL here using the expansion, but you can have different values in separate here, and they kind of go up and get here.
Okay.
So yeah, I added this part. And no, I have an idea. Yeah, this is better. App test path equal to um, user local bin. I'll keep it open for you to see. So .env has app test path, which is this thing. .env.expansion1.local, which should be loaded before .env.expansion1, has this thing.
Mhm.
And .env expansion uses the app test path for expand path.
Sure.
So let me remove the log. And app test path was originally user local bin,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
shouldn't
It's
it
being
be
expanded now.
overridden by .env?
You mean app task path should be what? You're expecting it to still be 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, because we still have it in here. So what I did was I added the app test path here and I used it here. But after coming out of the env.expansion one, I'm overriding it here. Sorry,
Here it's expand path.
sorry, just
Here it's a test path.
yeah. But I'm overriding
And
the
here
app
it's a
test path
test path.
here.
So I'm expecting indeed to app test path to stay with 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
and it's not doing that.
Yeah. And the weird part is, oh, I guess .env doesn't get overridden easily because this thing was in .env.test and this .env.test is overriding .env.
All right. Okay, it's super weird, but I guess this is the way it's designed to work.
Yeah, so it's like loading in a different way, but it's overriding in a different direction.
Yeah, it's like they're cross contaminating.
But I think that's how the env files are supposed to work.
Yeah. All right.
So let me just like um, part. No, wait, that would mess with the others. I binary path. This is um, so you have the binary path and you have the current expanded path. You have that. Yeah. So update snapshots.
Mhm.
Everything is passing.
Press A for all. And you want to remove that console log in your test.
Yep. What's here? Yep.
All green. Good man.
But we did a few stuff. Okay. So we are pretty satisfied with this, with the tests and what we wanted to do.
Hmm?
Okay, so I want to publish this then. Let me just, see the. So those are all. I want to do some. What do you call? I want to do some maintenance later, but for now, let's just publish this, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can commit later. Uh-huh. Now let me close this. And let's get back to this thing. Lazy, you want that?
Yeah. You're gonna have to install that.
Yeah, will do. I'm just trying to see. Let me move some stuff around. So let me go away from this. Trying to see where other places they are being used. They're
Shouldn't be
being
too
used.
many.
They're being used in env.js. You remember we
We can
talked about
remove that. Yeah, we can remove that file because I don't think that's doing anything at all.
uh, we don't. I'll just comment it out for now. We can remove that
Sure.
afterwards. Okay, that's gone. Utils we are using lazy. I'll update in the core package. But it's also being used in React Native.
Makes sense. You can change it there as well.
React Native, Webpack, config production.
The major refactor that happened on the web stuff still kind of needs to happen on React Native stuff.
On the Webpack stuff?
Yeah, and basically extracting the common parts. Like when we were building Storybook Review and then later Angular, we kind of hit the limitations of what code duplication should do for your code base, and so we refactored the common parts into core, which is exactly what we're working on now. But that never really happened for React Native because of, well, it's React Native and not a lot of people dare touch it. But that's happening. Like Congrag has said that he's interested in almost removing the Webpack and server-side things for React Native by default, or definitely pulling it into a separate package.
But okay, so I don't see the load env here.
Interesting. We should make that.
Let me open the. Oh, it's only 2 config files. So, yeah, I don't see it here too.
Let's create it.
It uses this like Storybook options define plugin kind of thing.
Come again? Hey, what's that?
This one.
I've never seen that in my life. But let's keep that.
Yeah.
And let's change line. Jesus, your line numbers are so gray. It's hard to read for me.
Oh, I'll change it later.
No worries. So on line 54, we should change that to what we have for in the core as well. where we changed like the, yeah, there we go.
Remove this. Oh, remove this. Oh, this probably would not be production true. What else? What else? Let's move
We
this.
actually need to create the load env.
Yeah, yeah.
I see we're using .env there.
Yeah, we have .env here, but we don't have it here. Oh, we have it here. Sorry. So this .env is about something different. So I was looking into that. You asked me a question earlier. Remember why don't we? Why do we have this? So I
Yeah.
was looking into it a few days ago, and it was about something unrelated. It actually loads the in all the environment variables into something else, like kind of like I'm not sure, but I'll link it to you later after the session. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, just let me do this. So this is similar to. We should probably have it at the beginning. Yeah, this is similar to that. So we need to load the load env. Oh, should I just take it from the libcore or should I write it again?
I don't think it's going to be super easy to make a dependency on libcore from React Native app. Do you?
I'm not
Like,
sure. I
I think
haven't
for
touched the
now,
React Native.
let's duplicate the code and have Gungrag worry about refactoring.
New we oh wait, what's the path? App React Native source server
Okay. Utils. Hey, utils is already here.
Oh, okay.
That's in there.
It's in there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And boom. And it's there.
Let me add this. Why is this?
Gonna need to create the
Oh,
dependency.
yeah, yeah. Do we need to change anything special for React Native regarding this stuff?
I don't think so. Like .env is .env, right?
We could probably remove this part, right?
Yeah. Do we need the node? No, let's worry about the node env a little bit later.
And then we should probably keep this. Let go on
Yeah.
worry.
Let's keep this and make sure that everything works. And then we can worry about removing the node env because we both have the feeling like it's unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so utils is good, and we should probably do this load env.
Yeah.
I don't see any other errors in this file. Load env. Yeah, this file looks good. Now it's about
Just in the yarn log file.
and the package.jsons.
Sure.
React native package.json. Lazy. Where's the lazy? Oh wait, it should be universal. And in the libcore package. Universal. Oh yeah, I should move this into proper GHIJKL. App React Native package.
Don't you have like an add-on for sorting your package JSON in your editor?
No, I should have it. I'm like I've recently changed the editor to Atom, so I'm like pretty. I haven't had all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and yarn. Yeah. Mm.
And this is the moment where we are both silent and watching Yarn install dependencies.
And this
This
is the moment generally people.
to us too often as developers, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
Cannot wait for this Yarn plug and play thing to happen.
yarn what?
Yarn plug and play.
What is that? I haven't heard about it.
Uh, it is a sort of a new node resolution algorithm that the authors of Yarn have been working on, and so they can save packages in a really deterministic way on a static place in your hard drive. So you would never need to reinstall a package ever once you've downloaded it once.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice.
So they will be storing it in like your home directory / yarn and then / the package name / the version, and so you would have your hard drive just basically fill up with different packages. I'm guessing they're going to be pruning it and stuff.
That's nice. That's nice.
But it would mean like you would install the Storybook code base in like a second or something because everything is already on your computer.
Mm-hmm. So
no more copying of folders or creating symlinks and that stuff.
Yeah. So I installed the lazy universal.env, which we wrote, and I'm now building the storybook of official storybook. So ideally, we shouldn't see the development.env warning, right? Oh, oh,
We are.
oh, oh! I understand why. Oh no, wait, I don't.
Can you log on line 34 like what the object assign returns?
Sure.
Like on line 36 you have this object assign, you kind of merge the two things together.
Yeah. So what do you want me to log?
I want to know what exactly is going to go in as a value to the process end.
So let's log these two objects.
Sure.
Would this need a restart?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's webpack config.
Yep.
It has display warning.
Yep.
It says Storybook example app.
Yeah. This is the positive thing of what I would expected.
We should probably move. Oh, right. But it wouldn't show you the. Actually, let me do. I know a little bit about what's happening. So, this thing. So when this block runs, the process.env would have this stuff added from .env files. But we don't want that. This is something we can do. We can move that above. Yeah, let's run it. Let's restart it again. So yeah, So I don't. Yeah, I want to keep it like this. So we started the command with these two variables, right? Then we add node env and public URL, and we
Yeah.
filter the variables. The all these. Ah, we filter these variables out of which only storybook underscore foobar is the one we want. So the env looks good, right?
Yeah.
The stringified, which is what we are trying to load from the .env files, it has only display warning and storybook example app. And if we open the
Isn't that all that's in there?
uh, .env, where is the official storybook?
Yeah.
And .env development. Yeah. So these two are being loaded, correct? But
Mm-hmm.
this is not being loaded,
No.
which is weird.
Yeah, because Node-env is development,
Yeah.
so it should load that.
And I don't get why we have this warning again.
Yeah, me too. It's really
So
strange.
the console.log. So it has this. You remember we were talking about the predictability of the process.env and the actual ones which are being there.
Yeah.
So we have foobar, we have example app, and we have display warning here, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we wanted initially.
Yeah.
The issues we have are this env.development is not being loaded, and these exist.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, that's correct. It doesn't actually replace this.
It doesn't what? Oh, okay. It doesn't replace it.
Is it because
It
they are
used
not
to.
load? Is it because they are not loaded into the process.env?
I think because indeed they're not in the process and go to the
I'll.
webpack config dev and
Oh,
see webpack define plugin load end. Interesting.
I put the console.log process.env also. Let me restart. Yeah. So I put this thing. I put along with the env string file. I also put the process.env.
Yeah, that should be a ginormous object.
Yeah, all this stuff came. Oh, with even the npm stuff. But you see, there's display warning and storybook
Yeah, you're
example.
showing tokens, dude.
Yeah, I already reset them.
All right.
So we started the stream, and I the first time it happened, I realized, and I reset them from the second computer.
Yeah, be sure to reset your GitHub tokens and stuff.
Yeah, I already did. I already did all the tokens I was showing. So yeah, this thing is still showing this. And let me go to the console.logs we did.
So actually,
Yeah, it's not reading. It's not reading env.development first issue. Second issue, it's in console process.env, and it's in browser process.env. It's in here browser process.env, but it's
yeah.
not actually writing it here.
So the place where we console log it now,
Uh-huh.
I think that's in config.js.
We console log it in utils.js itself after the loading happens.
Really. And in config, if we like try to get the process end in the config.js of the official example.
Okay, where do you, I don't know where I can do it though.
If we go to the config.js of the official example,
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about webpack config. Yeah, you want me
Okay,
to
so I'm assuming that now we have access to process env. Let's log it here and see what's in here.
restart?
Yeah, no, probably not, actually.
Yeah, it
Checking
needs.
your, uh, checking your console.
In this console,
Yeah, you come out.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah, it's the same as here. I'm already doing that.
Okay, so we have access to it in the config.js. We can just wrap these add header things with if statements,
Ah,
right?
sure, but why is it not working as previously?
Yeah, that's it's odd. I think like there may be some internal thing in the HTML Webpack plugin
Uh
that
huh.
uses those environment variables secretly or something and replaces it.
Where's the HTML webpack?
It's
Yeah,
right
it's
there
here.
on line 47.
So we want to do it here. Let's do that.
Mm, not sure. And I think you've just broken it.
Like this.
Oh no, you haven't. No. Um,
We just load this stuff above.
we can definitely give this a try.
I need to restart.
Oh, actually, yeah, it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, let me
You didn't
restart.
have this before now because previously what was happening is you would require the module and it would immediately put those things on the environment variable.
Yes, yes.
Now we're kind of doing it in a lazy fashion, and so the HTML Webpack plugin will not catch them. But still, like this is pretty horrible, right? The HTML Webpack plugin would kind of assume those variables to be set on the process.end
it's
and
like
then
it's
and
like
then replace things
I don't know why people are relying on process.env so much.
because it's a global environment variable and it's easy.
Yeah.
Um, but really,
Wait,
maybe we should be giving the right
did it
example
compile?
here, right?
Yeah, did it compile?
But let's check if it works this way.
No, it doesn't have it. It still has this. I'm not sure it actually ran it properly. What's happening? You want me to recompile again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working.
Even if you put the environment variable loading as the first plugin, it
Yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah. This one. I will also change it in here to be sure. Maybe it's this thing. I think it's this thing. But it should work. It was already before after this anyway, so it should work like that. Do you know why or what is responsible for overriding them? Is it like it's HTML Webpack plugin, right? We are sure.
I thought it was like the HTML Webpack interpolation plugin, but that is not there. So I don't know what is replacing it, to be honest.
Yeah, it didn't help. Yep. So let me actually redo all the stuff I did. Uh, yeah, and yeah. So we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. First, let's solve the issue of .env.development not loading. What do you say?
I was kind of reading up upon the HTML Webpack plugin and stuff. What were you saying?
So we have two issues, right? One is the .env.development not loading, and the second is the display warning happening. So we'll come back to the display warning later. Let's try to load the .env.development and make sure it exists in process.env.
Okay, so you want to focus on making sure that the right .env files are loaded.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh, okay, we'll keep that. So I'll delete this part for now because if you look at the console here, you can actually see here the process.env. Yeah, we'll use that as source of truth. So yeah, get environment. Let me open up the node module, lazy universal.env, index.css. What? It looks so small.
This is our code.
Yeah, but the actual code is bigger than this.
It put all of those .env files things on one line.
Yeah.
But
So
maybe something went wrong with that, actually.
yeah, it's like node.env type of node.env is undefined. Where is this node.env coming from? It's coming from yeah, it looks correct. Oh, do you think it's not taking the node.env correctly? We could do the log node.env.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes, Pavan.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe less.
Sure. So running this should print the node.env correctly. It did print it as development. So this is not an issue. Let's print the .env files. .env files. And it should print the env.development and .env. Oh, it has this. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, so let's do JSON parts. Do we still have the? No, we don't. This should work. This should work. I don't need to test it anymore. Display development warning. It appeared. Nice. I'll remove this part which is not needed anymore. So if you do this object should contain display development warning. It works. It works. So that is one thing solved. Ah, let me add stuff. So yeah, we want this. Yeah, we pretty much want this. We want this. We want this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nope, we don't want that. Other dead name stories. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm back.
So I fixed that. I'll tell you how. Just give me a second. Just trying to index stuff. Yeah, we want this. Yeah, we want this. Want this. Want this. Want this. Want this. Want this. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at the .env files that are being loaded, you see this thing env dot quotes development quote.
I see it. There's a quote development quote. Yeah.
Because this thing is like JSON stringify, so I just did the JSON parse again before sending it to Git environment.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, that was stupid. But good catch. Good catch.
Yeah, I was just like printing out stuff, see what's happening.
Okay, so that's one of the two problems down.
Yeah.
And then the other problem would be that why aren't those values being interpolated?
Interpolated.
Interpolated. Jesus Christ. All right. Forget it. Interpolated. There we go.
Mm-hmm. So
let's go have a search for where those files will actually be injected or included, and see if there's some sort of interpolation library right there.
Official. Oh, I get what you mean. So it's happening here. So we are pretty satisfied with this. Right? We are satisfied with the webpack config dev.
Yep.
And that would also mean we are satisfied with this utils. Okay. So it's using add head warning. No wait, it's actually in the preview head of official storybook. It's here.
Yeah. So let's try and find this file where exactly this is like found and then used.
Isn't it a part of Storybook?
It is, yeah. It's definitely a part of Storybook, so it's somewhere in the core.
So I'll search for preview head, I guess. Oh, that's an official Storybook. Okay, grep. Server utils. It's in utils. Libcore server utils. It's here. Interpolate.
Okay, so what is calling interpolate and interpolations? Where is interpolations defined? Okay, so that is in get preview header HTML, which is exported.
Oh, where is that being used though? Git grep, get preview, where is head HTML, HTML,
I'm guessing it's going to lead us back into the Webpack config.
config.dev. Yep. I shouldn't have closed that. Config dev, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Process.env right there.
Oh, what?
That's it. We're almost there, man, buddy. We're almost there.
Yeah, yeah. So this whole entries meta should be done after this define plugin is done. Oh wait, I get it. I get it. Just take this.
Actually, I think what should actually happen is that is an implementation detail for get preview head HTML. So it should just not take this process env, right?
No, I don't.
Maybe.
No.
Okay.
I think it should. I think we are right. Like we are very close. We just have to move the load env above and replace it here.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, on Storybook. Why is this development still there?
It's still not loading that file, but it's loading the other file. Like we're making progress here.
No, we fixed that.
Yeah. Are you sure you set it to the right CSS value? Like, is it actually none?
It's actually true. Why
okay, yeah, so there it is. The value of that environment variable is either true or something. Yeah, there you go. So, okay.
Jesus.
Saves your ass there.
Okay, just trying to reload this and okay, that's good. That's good. But what we probably also want to do is, oh, I have to change it in 4 places now. I'll do that in the meanwhile. It's working. Let's close this for now. Let's close this. Let me make the adapt the change to all the other Webpack configs we have.
Mm-hmm. Question: is this microphone better than the previous one, or can you hear any difference?
Nope, no difference to me.
All right, it's both crappy.
So let me change this to environment. Okay, and in React Native, right? React Native Webpack config. Yeah, this needs a lot of refactor. We did refactor our core by moving this to dev and making it common this default.js, but React Native still has like only 2. It has only config and config prod.
Yep.
Environment, yeah. Correction true. And yeah. Okay. 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 Uh, so yeah, it worked.
Hooray!
Let me add like more tests to it. Like, you remember we had this part. Oh wait, where's package.json? Yeah, you remember we added these two, and only this should go, but not this thing. Let's add display test for those also. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be testing whether Storybook full bar exists. We're
storybook
going to be testing whether Storybook
display warning.
whether full bar does not exist.
I'll rename that later. Let me just. Do I need? No, I don't need this. Yeah.
To be honest, like it would be nice to have at least one of these things in here. But the other stuff we should kind of handle in config.js. Do you agree? Like, I find the usage of these CSS class names that kind of get changed, and then config always injecting things to be kind of weird. Do you agree? Because we could in config.js just conditionally render something.
Sure, but
That's easier.
but what I'm thinking is like I'm thinking like uh, we are also trying to make sure the process.env doesn't get changed. The predictability thing we were talking about. So the issue with the predictability thing was like the process.env has all this display warning and all that stuff when it's in the webpack.config.dev, but when it came to the actual stories, it didn't have the process.env correctly.
Mhm.
So we should also this test also should try to do that, but maybe not this, because this is just like this is okay. Let me actually test a small thing like fast. I need to change the branches though. Yeah. Uh, so let me just add all this back in and change the branches fast. Other did name stories. Other did name stories. I don't want this thing. Uh, I don't want this thing also. Yeah. So let me save this and go to. Oh wait, I'm already in master. Yeah. So the thing I'm talking about is like the display warning not being shown when you do console.log process.env in the official storybook example. And what I want to test is if that's enough in the config or not, or it should be trying to be shown in the stories. Um, so let me run this yarn storybook. Sorry, is you here? Huh? Okay, I need this. All so we should be ideally getting it here, the display warning, but we didn't. I can't hear you, Norbert, if you're there.
Oh, sorry, I've muted myself because I was eating an apple a little bit. So where did you set it? So you were expecting a message in the console or something?
Yeah. So you're saying like the process.env,
Mm-hmm.
here
Yeah.
is different than the process.env being used to interpolate here. They should be the same. That's
Not if
our,
we apply all the changes we've been doing. They should be exactly the same.
yeah. If we apply all the changes we are doing, they should be exactly the same. But I'm thinking how to test it better. Like we should test it here, and we should test it here, and they should be the same. So let me go back to the branch. Let me go back to my branch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as pop. Uh, so the process.env here and the process.env being used here should be the same. And what is a better way of testing it? Because if we depend on it here, we add the warning. So
Mm-hmm.
like if we say if not process.env dot display warning, and we say add head warning, if it exists here, we won't get the warning, but we don't know if it will exist here or not. You get what I mean, right?
I get it, but I'm like if we make sure that one variable is in there, then I think it's safe to assume that all variables are there. Do you agree?
um
Because we've written in such a way that in this new branch, this new strategy, those two environment objects, they will be the same thing because we evaluate it once and we pass it down to the two pieces of code. Once for the define plugin and once for the interpolate.
Yeah.
And so when we make sure that at least one of the variables is available in the preview head.html, then we can check the rest of them in config.js.
I agree with you.
Okay.
So let's do it like this.
So I would say we do display warning. We do that in actual preview head.html, and the other stuff we kind of do using some if-else statements. Like we are expecting this one to be here, we are expecting that one to be here, we're expecting the other one to not be here, and if any of those like are wrong, we throw or something.
So head warning. But we'll probably need to modify this. Wait, I don't think we need to. Sorry. So they're by default red, right? So if not process.env dot display development warning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna show. This is interesting, right? Because this one is gonna show up at production.
Oh, right.
And we're gonna be running in production because we're building static versions of Storybook and deploying them, and so this is gonna show up in stuff like Chromatic.
So we should make it display production warning and put it as none.
No, but what we can do is say like if the process end display if process end dot node end equals development, then we are expecting process dot end dot display development warning to be here. If that's not the case, we throw.
And that would be okay with the CIs and what's being pushed to Chromatic.
Yeah, because we're testing. Like, here's the thing: if node env equals development, then the .env for the development file is loaded,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And so that will set the display development warning.
yeah,
So when node env is not equal to development, this environment variable will not be present.
yeah, yeah. I get that. So what I'm asking is, these are we are trying to do this as a test, right? So when someone submits a PR, this gets tested.
Uh-huh.
So and the snapshots that are being pushed to Chromatic with the test, they're using Node.env development.
No, they're using, or they should be using. Actually, now you're asking me. It doesn't really matter. That's the thing. Like, if if the node env is development, then this will get applied, and so the two cancel each other out. So the display development warning is there, and the node env
I, I, I,
the
I,
dis-
I get that. What I'm saying
okay.
is, like, let me rephrase the previous stuff I
Huh?
said. So if someone changes the logic of the load environment and in a PR, I would want to see that this thing is not there. And it uses chromatic for the official storybook, right? So I'm saying, how are the chromatic snapshots being uploaded? Are they using Node.env development or are they using Node.env production? Because Netlify is using Node.env production and it shouldn't display the warning. So we should have it uh, here like this. This is for Netlify. But I'm asking, like, how does chromatic behave? How does our chromatic snapshot builder behave? Do you need me to clarify it more?
A little bit. Like, if the node env for chromatic would be production.
Then this would, if someone changes this and they don't load the .env.development correctly, then this wouldn't fail the test, which we want it to fail the test.
If someone were to like remove these three lines, 14, 15, 16, for example, then the test would be passing, but we would be doing code review and seeing like, well, you're actually removing something that's important.
Ah,
It's like the question would be like, if someone were to remove all unit tests in a PR, like the CI would approve this.
true, true.
And so yeah, in a code review, you'd see like, hey, actually, you removed all the unit tests. What's going on? Even like he would still look at it, even though the CI says everything's fine. And I kind of feel the same way about this one.
Yep.
Do you have a different opinion?
I could leave it as it is like this. I don't mind.
Okay.
I just wanted to, clarify.
If all else fails, we can add a code comment here saying what this is for, so people don't remove it because they have no idea what it's for. But so far, no one has removed the head warning either, and
Yeah.
I think that has the exact same impact.
Yeah. Okay. So
This is perfect in my opinion.
we also
we can-
we also want to have tests for this storybook display warning, right? That's only for development also. So I guess like we should push all of them into development like this.
Yeah, if you feel like nesting if statements, preferably over repeating them, I'm fine either way.
If not process.env, uh, storybook display warning. Then we add head warning, uh, storybook uh, env war not loaded. We don't. Do we need this part? I don't think we need this part, right? Because we are planning to remove this class name. It doesn't need class name. Head warning. Defaulted to thing. And we see if process.env dot foobar exists.
We detonate the nuclear explosion.
Dot, let me rename stuff a little bit. Development display warning. Oh shit. .env development display warning. This, let me name this as a normal display warning. And warning.
But that does exist.
Yeah, I'll rename that part.
All right, fine.
So I'll rename this to .env display warning. And also rename, where's the .env files? Oh, .env development.
You can tell your Finder to show all hidden files.
Yeah, I have, yeah. .env. Show .env. Yeah, that's example app. That's something we need. Display warning. Development display warning. Storybook display warning. Yep. Not loaded. Oh, wait. It should be loaded. env war non storybook env war loaded. And let's put this.
I would say global non-storybook env loaded.
Global non-storybook env war loaded.
Yep.
And maybe rename this global storybook env war.
What?
Rename this to global storybook env war.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. This is good. This is good. This is good. And I changed it to, I'll change it to true, I guess. Oh, this is none. .env.development. I'll change this to true since we don't want to use it as a CSS thing, right?
Well, a string with none in it is falsy. It's truthy anyway.
Yeah. Those are all the. Oh, what? What happened here?
Check the yarn dev command. I think you may have like a syntax error somewhere.
No. I changed the branch, but I forgot to do yarn. I changed the branch and did yarn to get the universal.env, right? Now I need to get the lazy universal.env back again.
Right.
So much time. Actually, we have quite a few viewers watching the stream. We have around 10.
Yeah, we hit like almost 20 at some point, I think.
Oh, that's
Pretty
really
cool.
nice.
Mhm.
Uh, so we are building an storybook, and it shouldn't give us any warnings, and that would end the task.
Yep, we achieved our goal of loading env files in the correct way and
Y-
filtering any global environment variables
mm.
um, that might leak information about the user.
And we also fixed the predictability of process.env and while interpolating and also while in the storybooks available are correct.
Yeah, we could go for our bonus goal of trying to remove node env
Uh,
from as many places as possible.
okay, sure, sure. So
But
we
I
don't,
personally feel like we should commit this working situation first.
yeah. Uh, so fixes 4171.
Oh,
So
almost 30K GitHub stars, by the way.
which one?
Storybook, almost
Oh, that's
30K GitHub
nice.
stars.
That's nice. 29.5K. Yeah, almost 30. And like once we implement more next version, the single file configuration presets and all that stuff, it will probably
Oh
even
yeah,
bigger.
yeah. I'm so super stoked and excited about the UI overhaul.
Uh
To be
huh.
honest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that
also
too.
about the single file configuration and docs mode. It's gonna be that's gonna be great.
Yeah. I'm just checking the stuff so that like whatever we had is correct, so that I could commit it. I'll need to remove the config env file. Let's remove that. Yeah, let's remove the config env file. Uh,
Which file?
uh, this one, this one.
Oh yeah,
So I'm not sure where exactly this is being used.
I have no idea. We can do git blame and see who done that piece of garbage. So
It's
so
it's
I'm
it,
I'm I'm kind of fearful that my name's gonna pop up.
no, it's like Sebastian. View blame prior to this change. Improve.env file support. So it's Hypnos.
Of course.
So he had it in the Angular server build. Oh, that's when. Oh, it's when like this is like the interpolation is being used in the individual apps web packs.
I see. I removed that at some point later.
So let me see. Angular webpack config. Yeah, it doesn't have it.
What are you looking for?
No, I was making sure you removed it. I was confirming if you removed it or not. So where are they being used? Is it like env? So it's being used in core env.js, build dev, and build static. And since it's working anyway, I can probably remove that. Git rm lib.
Have you tried building a static version?
Oh yeah, I should. What's the command for it in official storybook?
So instead of doing yarn storybook, I think you do yarn build storybook.
Oh, I'll check it. Yarn build storybook.
You can type yarn run and then enter, and then it will give you a list of all the possible things that you can run and ask you which one you want.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm pretty new to yarn.
So this is not a part where two people are silent and looking at a terminal install things.
I could try to remove. Oh, I could try to remove the file. The scores. God damn it. Server. Why is it? Oh, GitArm doesn't work with autocomplete. Um, config env. Oh, let me commit this. Um, without actually deleting the GitRh. That's that lib course source server config env.js. Let me commit that stuff. I'll rename the commits later. Commit git load what. Oh, and now I add this git grep env. It's being used in libcore server build dev and build static. Build dev. I don't know why it's being used there. And then build static. And
All those files, what all they're doing right now is just importing a completely empty module and then doing nothing with that empty module.
yep.
So it's really safe to just remove all of it. Did the static build, did that
Yep, it should.
completely?
Yep. How
Okay.
can I?
Can you try running it?
It's in build storybooks.
Yeah, I tend to do just npx-serve and then the folder name. Serve, it's without the R.
Yeah, sorry. Serves. It's in storybook static.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yours. Oh, the serve is a binary in npm. Yeah, I remember. Does it open? Not open? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. 5,000.
Yeah.
Yep, that works.
Everything works.
We're almost done.
Okay, let me cancel this. So we removed the env.js file, but I'm not sure if it's being used anywhere else. Could you give a look? Yeah, I don't see it anywhere.
Me neither. So what is interesting is that they're in the core, someone consciously decided to put env.js right at the root. and then it would require file in dist. So that's sort of a public API, and I have no idea who would be using such a thing or why.
Lib
Can we check out why that env file? Who created it? Maybe there's some.
This was before the. This was the same commit as that introduced the file.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to actually look at this commit and make sure it's not being used anywhere than the reverse. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, looks
All
like
right, let's remove the env.js file
in
from the
the
root of core,
yeah, yeah.
and we'll hear it when someone complains about shit being broken.
uh, let me remove that. Gitarum lib core
Because
env.js. Uh, yep, looks good. So we removed that. Now we want to remove the node env, right? That's what we were aiming for.
you committed all this.
I committed the first part, and I'll commit the remove unnecessary env.js. Yeah. So now we want to remove this node env,
Mm-hmm.
this node env, which git grep node env. Oh wait, it's about this thing. It's in this app build bin build, right? We want to remove this part. I'm not sure about it, Norbert.
You're not sure what?
I'm not sure that we should be removing this,
Oh, okay.
but I would definitely want to try to. So I'll do it. I'll experiment with it later. But I
Okay.
think our goal for the today is done.
Yep. We were successful.
Yeah. So let me just create the uh, v chicken master and
So one small thing on our list to do is to write some proper documentation for the module we created today.
oh
Like
yeah,
you publish something that is basically a fork, but because we changed it so much, I think it's okay for it to stick around.
yep,
And
yep.
so in that case, we should update its README so it actually reflects what the package is doing.
Yeah, sure, sure. Let me just push this and make a PR.
Mm-hmm.
Pushed. GitHub Storybook 4171. Uh, improve environment loading. Uh, fixes 4171. Uh, we made our own .env loader at github.com storybook lazy universe.
Storybooks.
Oh yes, storybooks. Yeah, that should be enough.
I know it annoys me the hell out as well.
Who has the storybook?
Um, it is someone who has never been on GitHub.
Oh. Uh, so labels it's what's the label? Feature bug fix is better.
Yeah, Buck and Core.
Yeah, and core. Okay, yeah.
Wow, we did good. This is really good, and I agree. Like this actually was a 4.0 blocker,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, we fixed it, dude.
yeah. So let me go to open the lazy universal dot. So this is done. So what? Where's the storybook? CD coding storybooks lazy. Oh, it's called universal.env.
Hmm.
Let me just move it fast.
You cloned it over the Storybook organization on that, right?
Yeah, I forked it
Yeah.
to Storybook organization. We need to rename it there to lazy universal.env.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Let me open it in Atom. Close this. So we modified the snapshots a lot. We removed ESLint RC. I'll fix the ESLint later, I guess.
It's weird. I'm not seeing that package yet on Storybook's GitHub organization.
It's not named lazy universal. It's named just universal.env. Guitars for what's the git storybooks universal. Um, oh wait, I might know because GitHub does this stupid thing where it has.
I already renamed it on GitHub, just so you know.
Were you able to see it, or did you need to?
Yeah, I found it. I found it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Um. Yeah. I need to change it. I need to get GitHub storybooks lazy universal.env. Yeah. Where are we? Yeah. We need to edit the README, right? Oh. 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 I'll change it later. I think this needs a complete rewrite.
The README.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it needs a complete rewrite.
We want to do it now, or like I can do it later.
Let's do it off stream.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
close things off now, and
Yeah.
it's been long.
Yeah. Definitely. It's like 3 hours since we started the stream.
Yeah. I had fun though. Like in those 3 hours, learned a lot.
Yeah. I'm like, it would be even more awesome if there are more people watching and interacting with the chat and stuff, asking us questions and stuff. Because I've seen people do that, the other programming streams.
Yeah, it's still a niche, I think, on Twitch. But yeah, let's make this a regular thing, man. And I'm down.
Sure, definitely, definitely.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Let's call it a stream.
Yeah, let's call it.